Hey folks, this is Bailey from Dank Wargaming.
Hey, this is Team Tib Hawaii.
And welcome to The Path to Redemption, the Warhammer 40,000 Dark Angels podcast, where our aim is to provide Dark Angels players with the tactical and hobby skills that they need in order to enjoy this wonderful hobby of ours. Welcome to our super large extra bonus August episode, because we got a lot going on since the last time we were able to meet up. So we're going to knock some stuff out. New releases, there wasn't really much going on there. Meta Watch, lots of lists, some interesting stuff. We're going to try and break it down for you as best we can. The main event tonight is we're going to leave it a super secret for right now, because we have got to make sure it's actually going to happen. Yeah, we don't want to overpromise things before they actually happen. Then we're going to go to the Hobby Challenge, proceed from Hobby Challenge to community comments, and then wrap it all up in a bow. So, like I was saying before, new releases, nothing really going.
There was
one?
There was a GW limited edition release.
Oh, there was a special...
Yeah, it was Captain Sentos. I think it was a Crimson Fist.
Okay.
I managed to get one. I did not get more than one because where I was at, I couldn't get to multiple GW stores. But
right.
So I got one for my friend Nicole, who likes her some random Space Marine captains. Anyway, but I did get a couple of pins. So this pin was commemorative to celebrate 30 years of Warhammer stores in Australia and New Zealand. That's where I was for the last month.
Oh,
also
yeah.
A little coin.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, yeah. So it's a cool looking model. We'll see how she paints it up. Anyway.
Yeah, at least it's not a lieutenant, right?
At least it's not a lieutenant. You are wrong. You're not wrong.
All right. Are we cracking this out, going to the Meta Watch then?
Yeah, look, y'all played a lot of Wrath. So there's a lot of lists in the Meta Watch. So we're gonna have to condense and factor some stuff out and talk about it probably in a slightly broader scope. But there's a lot of stuff going on. So anyway. Well, let's start with this first one here, which was Edward Salas at the Geek Shack Farewell in Las Cruces, New Mexico. The name of the list is Wrath. So it's got Lion Dad, it's got Azrael, it's got 2 chaplains in Terminator armor, which I am a fan of. It's got a lieutenant, a combi weapon lieutenant, a Ravenwing command squad, 2 squads of Deathwing Knights, 1 with maces, 1 with swords, 5 Hellblasters with plasma, 3 Eradicators with Melta, 6 Inner Circle Companions, and 3 squads of 3 Black Knights. This is a little weird compared to what I'm used to seeing.
Yep.
Now, one, it doesn't specify the enhancements. I would expect in this that, if you're taking a Terminator chaplain, it's probably because you want to do a Deathwing assault or something along those lines. And also, the best relic or the best enhancement in this detachment is Ancient Weapons, and I don't know where he put it. Because I've seen it's quite viable to put it on a chaplain to make him strength 8, AP 2, damage 3 with +1 to wound if he's leading somebody. Or it's also, I've seen a lot of people put it on just a regular lieutenant to go with the Hellblasters and give them a little more punchiness. Right? So, not really sure. But that being said, 3 squads of Black Knights, I guess because they're, I don't know. Maybe this is his, one is going to go to the command squad, and the other 2 are just scoring stuff. Right? So, interesting.
Yep, but this could be something where it's this is just what he has. If you think about it, because he's got Sortie Boys and Macy Boys, so he probably is just I have some cool stuff, Dark Angel stuff, I'm going to play it.
Yeah,
and
the general consensus is that if you put a chaplain there, you're going to take swords instead of maces, because mathematically they're equivalent into all but 2 data sheets, unless you're going into repulsors or land raiders. It's the only stuff that out there that's really toughness 12, because big knights are toughness 11 now. So, yeah.
Well, and the Eradicator squad too, right? So like, there's just some Space Marine good stuff is basically what this list is with a ton of characters, right? Because we always talk about how like some of the better lists always have 3 characters, and this list has 6 characters, 7 characters with the command squad. So it's just lots of characters. But it's not like they're bad, right? Like you said, like the chaplains open up the Deathwing Assault. They bring in extra bonkiness. They make all the your 2 Deathwing Knight squads extra bonky. Azrael goes with the lieutenant into the Hellblaster squad, which that's been, meta since almost day 1, right? Like,
yeah,
this is just Space Marine good stuff. Dark Angels good stuff.
I don't know. I think that maybe, so there's an argument here to go Azrael into the Inner Circle Companions, and if you also put the lieutenant with him there, then that solves one of the biggest problems in that it lets the companions fall back in charge.
Yeah, it is pretty. It would be pretty cool.
And then they're all going to have a 4-up and will save. And look, the Hellblasters, they don't really need support with a character. And I think I would rather be able to fall back in charge with companions and Azrael than fall back and shoot with Hellblasters. So anyway, just thinking about that. Just thinking about that.
Right.
Anyway, so one of the things I've run into, because I've been playing a lot of Wrath, is how many units you have that can actually do stuff. So you've got like 2 units of Deathwing Knights, the Companions, and the Librarian. Sorry, my bad. And Lions. That's like basically 4 like real pieces, and then you've got or maybe the Black Knights and the Command Squad. That's another one. So like 5 kind of pieces that can really survive in the game, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, other kind of like run aroundy scory pieces. And the Combi Weapon Lieutenant, I'm a huge fan of the Combi Weapon Lieutenant because he's the same price as a Scout Squad, and he's way more durable than a Scout Squad. And he buffs the rest of your army unlike a Scout Squad does. So, just here to say, that's an interesting take on the Wrath lists, and I haven't seen it before, so good job.
Yeah, very good. So, we want to pop over to the next one here. James.
Okay.
So James Tilly's playing a 5-round at the Brawl in the Hall, 76 players, Lockport, Illinois. He's part of Rising Tide Games, it's who I think it is. I know some of the guys on Rising Tide. I think he showed up at Adepticon. He made the Adepticon show. So he's got the Innerist Circle. So we've got Lion Dad, we've got Azrael, we've got Captain Gravis armor with ancient weapons, a Librarian in Phobos armor, which we haven't seen in a while. Heavy Intercessors, which we also haven't seen in a while. 2 squads of Deathwing Knights, Infiltrator, 2 squads of Inner Circle Companions, Scout Squad, and then double Vanguard Vet.
Okay.
Remember when I was really crazy for buying a box of Vanguard Vets a couple months ago? Well,
no, Vanguard Vets are Vanguard. Yeah, like Toby swears by Vanguard Vets. So I think the Phobos Librarian is there. I mean, obviously he goes with the Infiltrators, but it's really it's a meta pick to let you hold your backfield in an uncontested fashion against if you think you're going to play into things like Mortarian's Hammer, which have crazy indirect that can, you can't shoot them, right?
Right.
And then they also screen out 12 inches so they can't deep strike the Death Shrouds with their Death Approaches rule next to you. So it'll just basically guarantee you're going to hold your backfield 1 turn longer. It's expensive at like 165 or 170 points, but I don't hate it. And I've thought about it. I just, for the way I tend to play and what I'm looking at going up against, it doesn't really, it's too expensive for me, but I definitely understand.
Well, and the Midwest meta has sort of been known for years as being an Imperial versus Chaos meta. Like, there are not a lot of Xenos armies, so you basically just tool into Space Marines and, fighting against other Space Marine factions and Knights, right? Like, that's basically what you're going to face. So, having something that lets you deal with nasty Death Guard stuff is like, yeah, do that. That's a good idea.
Okay. All right. 2 Deathwing Knights, 2 Inner Circle Companions, and so Azrael and the Librarian go with the Companions to give them both 4-up and bull saves. So everything here has 4-up and full saves. The heavy intercessors with the Captain. I have tried this before, and I just can't find it to be durable enough, so I'm curious to see how he employs those. Because yeah, they're T6. Yeah, they have -1 wound. Yeah, they have a built-in armor contempt against damage 1 stuff, but there's still only 3 wounds, and there's a lot of 3 damage shooting out there. So,
yep.
Anyway, yeah, 5-round. He went 4-1 to 78-player event. So good on you, man.
Yep. Congratulations. Roll Tide. All right, so we got the going over to Tanner with the Rose City Rumble 5-round 40-player event in Portland, Oregon. He's part of the Rose City Ruffians. Went 4-1, got 3rd place with this School of the House of the Wrath of the Rock. Love it. Love the reference here.
Okay.
So we got Lion Dad as Warlord, Azrael, Return of a Judiciar with Ancient Weapons, which I thought was fun. Haven't seen that. Librarian, Ravenwing Command Squad, 2 Deathwing Knights, 2 Inner Circle Companions, Ravenwing Black Knights, 6-pack, got a full squad, not just 3. 5-man Stern Guard, Vanguard Vets, and then this was kind of fun, a Ministorm Priest.
Okay, so that's just like I've got X points left over and can need a backfield objective sitter or something like that. What do Ministorm Priests do?
I don't have enough subscription to look up what they do, but they probably have some
I don't know.
Imperial keyword, Imperium keyword ability that's pan Imperium, and we're going to be like, oh, this is like a 50-point guy that gives my whole army something.
Okay, we're taking a look. We're taking a look.
Yeah, no worries. But
okay,
yeah,
well, they're in the Sororitas. They're also in Imperial Agents, so we're going to take a look at the Imperial Agents. Yeah, they can't really attach to anything, but they're on a 32 mil base. I can't see the points. Yeah, while they're leading a unit, they do a thing for the unit they lead. They do a thing in the fight phase, and they just kind of look. It's a body, near as I can tell.
Gotcha.
It's 40 points.
Okay.
So it's just a cheap character model that just sits there and just Imperium.
Well, there's another one. Yeah. There's another list that has one. So
okay,
some people are on a wavelength with this. So right then are we seeing Azrael then with Stern Guard in this list? Then Judiciar Librarian going with the Inner Circle Companions. Yep.
Well, right. Judy or the Librarian, depending on the matchup, I would think.
Gotcha.
And then the Stern, and then actually no, I'd say probably Judy with the Companions and the Libby with the Stern Guard. It depends on what you need the Stern Guard to do, or you do Azrael with the Stern Guard and then the Judy and the Librarian with the 2 Companion squads.
Yep.
So yeah. Now the Judiciar, all 3 of those have synergy into all 3 of those units. So the Librarian is a really good pair with the Stern Guard if you're looking for shooting, because the Librarian's Smite has devastating wounds. So for the full O3 roll onto that, it really buffs him into shooting. Azrael obviously is Azrael, and we all know what that does. But the Judiciar's Relic Blade also has devastating wounds and has precision, and he has ancient weapons on it. So if you want to get some nice, utility out of that, he's not a bad choice to pair with the Stern Guard as an offensive attacking unit strategy there. So
gotcha.
It gives you just a little bit of flexibility to do whatever you think you need to do.
Sweet. We're ready for something not Wrath.
Oh, I do want to point out on this, though. This is the first time I've seen Lord of the Ravenwing in one of these lists. So his command squad has Lord of the Ravenwing, which is a reroll to advance and charge.
Okay.
So I think it's just like he had 10 extra points and screw it. There we go.
There we go. We like it. So James was at the Saskatchewan Open 2025, a 5-round, 37-person event in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. He went 4-1, got 4th place, and was running Company of Hunters. So we have a little bit of a break from all the wrath out there. You can't be wrathful all the time. It's not healthy. It's bad for your blood pressure. So he had 3 command squads, 2 add enhancements, Recon Hunter and Master Maneuver. We have 3 3-man biker outrider squads, 2 ballistas dreadnoughts. Here's some fun, Heath. 2 3-man Devastator Centurion squads, infiltrators, 2 Melta ATVs, and then 2 Hammer Strikes. So there's 4 Melta speed platforms.
And you missed the 5-man Devastators, just Devastator team, like first.
Oh, the 5-man. Oh, with Grav.
with
with
grab
grav.
cannons.
Oh,
So,
yeah, that's good too.
Yeah, grab cannons are an interesting choice in this because grab cannons are anti-vehicle 2 up. So they're strength 6, AP 1, I think 3 shots each, with 3 damage, and they're anti-vehicle 2 plus. The problem is they're AP 1, so that's why I think why the hammer strikes are in here, because you need to strip cover off something if you're going to shoot it with those things.
Yeah,
but they will definitely put some hurt on vehicles.
Yeah, well,
So
and then hammer strikes will also do it with the 3-shot Melta destroyer that they got on them.
Yeah. So there's a lot of Melta platforms in here, and the ATV. Now, like I said, this is so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, just a bunch of little tiny Ravenwing units. But the Centurions and the Ballistas are not Ravenwing, but being able to advance and shoot them is really what makes this a thing. So, I do like the hammer strikes are coming back. We used to see thunder strikes everywhere, but definitely the hammer strikes to strip cover is what this list needs, and so that's what he's got.
Oh, I forgot the list is called Dark Angel's Good Stuff. It's like at least we got a good name here. All right, ready for next one here. We're going a little bit fast just because there are
Holy Lord, like I said, there were 2 chaplains of Terminator armor. I was surprised. This next one has 3 chaplains of Terminator armor.
Yeah,
this
is in Holt. It's a Storm Lance. Yeah,
this is Holt AC, so the Australian Capital Territory. So this is right outside of Canberra. It's a 5-round, 51-player event by Mr. Tim Neal. It's called Clone Stodies. So Azrael, 3 chaplains in Terminator armor, 3 ballistic dreadnoughts, a lieutenant with a combi weapon, 3 squads of Mace Deathwing Knights, 2 squads of infiltrators, 6 Inner Circle companions, and again the Ministorum Priest.
Yep, there he is again.
So 40 points that you got filling up, just have a guy that can sit in reserve or walk off and do an action. That's really all it is.
Gotcha.
So this is interesting. The 3 Ballistas, 3 Deathwing Knights, 2 Infiltrators, so you're really leaning in. Now, like, where does Azrael go? Companions. He goes to the companions.
Yep.
Yeah, he goes to the companions. Okay, there we go.
We're advancing.
Yeah, we know what this does. This charges and breaks things. So
Yep, and it's got the dreadnoughts to keep people honest. It's like, you really want to stand out in the open? Well, guess what's going to happen to you?
You're gonna get
they've got built-in rerolls, so they don't really so they've got it all set up for themselves. So we like that. And it's Stormlance, so nice to see Stormlance is still.
We know how that's
still around. All right. Oh, we have another Stormlance list with Ian. So Ian was at the Gang's 40K Grand Tournament at Games and More in Rochester, Minnesota. It's 5-round, 26-player event. He got 2nd place. So this list is called Lance. It's not just for the stratagem, because as we go through the list here, you will see that he's got Azrael, he's got a Chaplain, Terminator Armor, a Tech Marine, Intercessor Squad, 2 Blade Guard Vet Squads, 3-mans, 3 Deathwing Knight Squads, and then 3 Gladiator Lancers. So there's the Lance.
All the Deathwing Knights have swords. All 3 of them.
And he only has 1 Chaplain. Interesting. Okay.
Really interesting.
Infiltrator Squad and Inner Circle Companions, 6 Sortie Boys. Huh. 6. So 15 Sortie Boys. Is it aesthetics choice? Is it... They have a lot of attacks. It could be a meta choice. Like, I enjoy having the Sword Squad in my army because if you're running into a bunch of weedy gits, they're much more impressive than the maces. I understand the math and the utility, but Sortie Boys are
basically cool. Any infantry you're wounding on 3s at worst, 2s usually with 5 more attacks, and it's going to be good. It's good. It's can you afford the Chaplain is the only question, because a lot of times that Chaplain is Deathwing Knights, a 5-man unit of Deathwing Knights by themselves will generally not kill a vehicle.
Yeah.
So the Chaplain, right? They're not the killiest thing in the game. They're just durable as hell, and they are reasonably killy. The Chaplain tips them over into very killy, or medium well of killy, if you would.
Yeah.
But the problem is that 75 points is a lot of times at the cost of another scoring unit, right? And so that's the decision you got to make: is buffing this unit worth my scouts or my this or my that? So Anyway.
Well, and maybe the reason he only has the one squad, right, is because he's playing Stormlance, so he can give one of his units Lance, right?
I thought it only worked on bikes.
Am I thinking about Gladius? I think I'm thinking about
Gladius with the genre of the chapter. Yeah.
Yeah, because
but no, there is a Stormlance does have a stratagem where you can do that, but
it's for
thought
bikes.
It only applied to bikes.
Yeah, that's why I keep messing this up. Because I keep thinking that it's Gladius. Oh well. Anyway, I like the fact that he put Blade Guard vets in there, and I hope that they're really super awesome customized because we've got new special heads in the new Dark Angels upgrade sprue that came out. So hopefully that works out. So good job. Congrats on second place. We're going to keep rolling because we got lists for days.
Lists for days.
Because this is basically like 6 weeks worth of tournament events is what this is. So Phoenix 40K 2-day GT, it's 2025, 5-round, 26 players. It was not held in Phoenix, Arizona, but it was in England, San Diego, England. So this guy, let's see, Andrew King of D6 World 1 went 4-1 and got second place. So he went with, let's see, this is like a comma HF for his list name. So I'm missing something here.
It's just eh. It's that laconic, dry British humor. Yeah.
That's fair. So we have Lion Dad, Azrael, Lieutenant with Combi Weapon, Inner Circle. I'm sure there's one squad. No, there isn't one in here. Intercessor Squad, 2 Jump Pack Intercessor Squads, 2 Deathwing Knights, big squad of Hellblasters, Outriders, Scouts, and then the Piece de Resistance, Cerastus, Knight Lancer.
Well, that's just... Okay.
That's mean.
Yeah. The Lancers are good. They're a little expensive. And I don't know... Okay. Yeah, I mean, look. Why not put a giant sloppy robot in your army? With a 4-up invul save. Yeah. With a, with Lance on the charge. Right? Why not? I guess.
Welcome to eighth edition. If you weren't there, you're about to find out what it was like.
Yeah. Why not? So.
Yeah. So I like that. Good job on second place. Bringing something a little bit out of left field. Gotta love it. So we're gonna move on then to Matthew here. So Matthew went 4-1 at the Big Beef Beatdown 30-player event held in Omaha, Nebraska. He got 5th place. It's called Wrath. So we got Lion Dad, Azrael, Chaplain, Terminator Armor, Judiciar with Ancient Weapons, Combi Lieutenant, Intercessor Squad, 2 Deathwing Knights, 3-man Eradicator, 6 Plasma Inceptors, 6 Intercessor Companions, Melta ATV, Scouts, Stern Guard.
The 6 Plasma Inceptors makes me happy. The thing is, it's a lot of points, and you have to put them in reserve. And if you're toying around at all with any other type of reserve shenanigans, that will generally overcommit you. But man, with the +2 to strength stratagem, that is pretty hella. That'll blow some stuff up, especially because they're twin linked and they're 3 damage. Good gravy. Yeah, so but it's an expensive trade piece because generally you're going to drop them someplace, they're going to shoot, and then they're going to die. But look, it's 240 points, so maybe you're okay with that if it turns somebody around or kills one really important thing. Again, we see the Judy with Ancient Weapons. That's going to go with the Inner Circle Companions, which I'm a fan of, and the 5 Stern Guard with Azrael. Yeah, okay.
Also a big fan. So next one is pretty impressive. Looking at this is we've got the Warhammer Open Tacoma 8-round 462-player event in Tacoma, Washington. Sean of Heroic Knights went 5-3 with a Company of Hunters list and went 79th, making him the highest scoring Dark Angels player out of the 462 players there. He has an excellent list name, Zoom Zoom Heretic Go Boom.
Love it. That's the best one so far.
Yep. And we have Sammy as the Warlord, Combi Lieutenant, Command Squad with Recon Hunter, Command Squad with Master Maneuver, and then a 3rd Command Squad. 6-man Bike Squad, Outrider Squad, and then 3-man Outrider Squads, 3 Melta Buggies, a 6-man Black Knight squad, and then a second 6-man Black Knight squad, and then a 3-man Black Knight squad. The return of a Dark Shroud, a Hammer Strike, and the return of the Thunder Strike.
This is what everyone thought that Company of Hunters was supposed to be. And it does zoom, zoom, go, boom. And it's the highest scoring Dark Angels player at Tacoma Open. Yeah, all right then.
Yeah, so there's still some love out there for this. And I know to all of the English chaps in the discussion going, you can't play this on World Team Championship terrain. It's like, well, they played at Tacoma Open, so they didn't have to worry about it.
It was GW terrain. Yeah.
Yep.
You're telling me that terrain impacts the impacts the tactical choices that you make? Von Clausewitz would agree.
All right. Next, we got Tim. Some may call me Tim. This is from Umeå, Sweden. I'm not even going to bother with that. He's playing Stormlance Task Force. Wings of Porpoise. Someone's seen The Secret Life
what
of
Walter
Mitty.
What are you even doing right now? Okay. Yeah.
Do not fear the porpoise. All right, I get that's my favorite line of that movie. Stormlance Task Force is back. Lion Dad, Warlord, Azrael, Lieutenant with Combi Weapon, Command Squad with Hunter's Instinct, and then we have Command Squad with Feigning Withdrawal, a third Command Squad of Raven Wing, Intercessor Squad, Scout Squad, Invader ATV, that's Melta, 3-3-man Outriders, and then 3 6-man Black Knight squads, and a Dark Shroud. Ooh, there's some zoom zoom go boom in there with
more zoom zoom
18 Black Knights. Woo, I like that. And we got the command squads to buff them up, so we're looking at almost 27
it's a lot of bikes.
bike bodies. Yeah.
A lot of bikes. 27 plasma bikes, 9 Outriders, and Azrael.
And behind all of that is the
Samael. No Samael.
No.
Huh.
But it is a Stormlance, so you don't need him for advance in charge. Like that's like to me is like the big thing with him is he just takes something that isn't advanced in charge and makes it advanced in charge. But if you play Stormlance,
okay. So we just got back from our interview with our special guest, whose name shall remain a secret until you go watch that episode. There's some really good stuff in there, and I'm glad that we got them on. So we have how many lists are we into this, Bailey?
We are you're like list 7 or 8 out of 2023.
Okay, so there's a lot of these things that are going to kind of proceed in the same way. I've picked out a list that I want to talk about that I think is very unique, and if you want to do the same, let's cover those, and then kind of move on so we can wrap this up. All right, so this one is called Lock and Load GT2. Mr. Carl Dowling, a 5-round 36-player event held in North Keswick, Scotland. This list is weird. It's weird. So it has the Lion, it has Azrael, it has a Judiciar with ancient weapons, it has a Tech Marine, it has 6 Blade Guard vets, 1 unit of 5 Deathwing Knights, then it has 5 Desolators, that's the Desolation, t-shirt cannon Marines.
Yeah.
5 Infernus Marines, 5 Infiltrators, 6 Inner Circle, a Dark Shroud, 2 squads of 5 Scouts, and a Vindicator.
Oh, good old Vindicator.
Opinions, still thoughts, here. Concerns.
Well, again, it just kind of like when we were looking at that one list earlier, it was just like, it just kind of feels like Space Marine good stuff, right? Like Lion, good. Azrael, good. 6 Blade Guard are really nasty. Like, I think, do you still have some PTSD from Adepticon 2 years ago, Heath, where a Blade Guard agent, 6 Blade Guard, and a Blade Guard captain?
I'm over it.
Oh no! Oh dang it! No, that you're supposed
I'm
to be
over it.
still supposed to be scared. You're still supposed
I'm
to be
good.
scared, so people will play Blade Guard.
I'm
No, but
over it.
Blade Guard. Well, because the
Yeah.
thing people forget with Blade Guard, right, is that they have built-in reroll ones or reroll
Mm-hmm.
save invuln saves.
Reroll.
Which,
Yeah.
like, how many things in the game have a reroll invuln save,
Reroll to
right?
their
Like
save.
that's what
That's
makes
pretty
them
good.
so
Yeah.
cool.
Um.
It's interesting the Desolation Squad doesn't have a tank to ride around in and party bus because a lot of times when you see them, they're party busing, but these ones are not.
I think the reason for that is that you want to use the +2 shooting strength on them, and
Yeah,
which is, remember, you and I were on this at the beginning of the Wrath era, uh,
yeah.
and I just like, I think maybe he's got something different maybe that he's doing that he figured out, because I could never really get quite the return out of him. So, but I am interested in the Infernus Marines. So Infernus, their basic Pyreblaster is Strength 5, AP 1, 1 damage. And when they shoot something with a Pyreblaster, they must take a Bottle Shock at -1. So Strength 7 shooting
Ugh.
with Flamers, but you do the +2 to +2 Strength. That could be spicy. That could be interesting.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, I like that a lot. Uh, again, another unit that we usually see in a party bus, but he's just raw dogging it out on the floor. So I like that too. It's very brave.
So yeah, and then the Vindy,
So
once again, we don't normally see them in in Wrath lists because they don't benefit from the detachment rule, but definitely a different variant on this, right? And 5th out of a 36 player GT, so good on you, man. All right,
yeah.
what's another one that you'd like to talk about?
So one I saw that I feel is unique because it has a model that I love that I've custom built, but no one seems to run him, so I pulled it out for this reason. Is Marcus's Wrath list? Of It looks like he's at the same event as Sean was. This was the Boise Cup 2025 5-round 36 or 76 person event in Boise, Idaho. This is a
Okay.
9th placed 4-1 list, Marcus Walker, and he's got
Oh,
Azrael, the captain with jump pack with ancient
yep, I saw
weapons.
it. There you go.
Oh yes,
Got the Smash Captain,
Lion Daddy,
the
please
traditional
hit
Smash
me, baby,
Captain.
one more time. Yeah, like that's my jam right there. Librarian with tempered in battle, which again we've talked a lot. Like, where are we going to see tempered in battle? Well, apparently we see it here.
Tempered
Lieutenant
Battle is a
with
great,
combi
like, I got
weapon.
10 points, otherwise I wouldn't spend,
Yeah,
and so there you go.
yep. The Devastator Centurions, 2 of them, which just like suddenly that's one of the. It's not lit up in green as like a main thing, but it's definitely something that maybe I could have gone through and been like, it's a yellow unit, like it's on the uptick, but it's not prevalent because they're
Mm-hmm.
just nasty. And if you want to know more about them, watch the other episode.
Yeah.
Double Deathwing Knight instead of triple Deathwing Knight. Infiltrator Squad, 6 Inner Circle Companions, double Scouts, which usually we're not seeing that anymore. I remember when every list in 8th edition was triple Scouts. Everybody ran
Well,
3 Scouts, and that was for
I
the
think,
battalion.
I think that double scout, well, scout and combi weapon lieutenant is becoming a lot more common, because you have the one scout to go uppy downy, so you need 2 things that can push out and kind of
Yeah.
create space, right? And then the combat lieutenant is going to give you the rerolls on an objective, and also he's super awesome at just like doing midboard actions, right? Or doing sabotage, or doing various stuff like that.
Well, and this list also has infiltrators, so he's got the lieutenant with combi
Okay.
weapon, infiltrators, and double scouts, which I've played some of this before, and I like it, but it's a big commitment to. It's almost like 25% of your army is just like units that forward deploy and play objective games, which a lot of people like. They like anymore. It's like I run the lieutenant and I run a scout. I run the lieutenant and I run an infiltrator. So this overcommit to like, no, I want all the toys.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there isn't a Phobos librarian in this list to go. Like that's like the one piece of tech he didn't bring for with all the scout shenanigans. Then there's the 10-man Stern Guard squad, and then 2 Vanguard vets, which again is something else that would also like it's starting to get popular and starting to get kind of trendy. So look into the September episode to see more Vanguard vets. So I find it funny that I was looking at Vanguard vets back when Lion's Blade came out. I was like, man, this is how I can get my jump pack captain to be cool. And then it's like 6 months later, well, 8 months later now. It's like,
honest, it is cool. Like anything with a strength 10, 3 damage thunder power fist is dope. So
yeah, but it's the role has changed before, right? Because before it was I need to find a way to make this character Deathwing so I get the +2 to charge out of Deep Strike, and now it's just like I just need something to give him bodies so that he doesn't die before he goes and punches whatever it is he's about to go punch to death.
Yep.
So I do like that. And then I guess like we've done in the past, looking at the green units, right? Azrael, highly prevalent across these 20 plus lists, right? He's in not he's only not in 3 of them, right?
Possibly not in like a Company of Hunters list, but even then, still probably.
Literally, the 3 Company of Hunters lists don't have him. That's it.
Yeah.
Same thing with Deathwing Knights, and then there's one Stormlance that doesn't have any Deathwing Knights. Interesting. Maybe I just messed that up then, because again, I did a lot of this all at once, and it's quite a bit. Inner Circle Companions, fairly prevalent, but not as prevalent as Azrael and Deathwing Knights. Infiltrators, back in popularity. Intercessors are starting to become fairly prevalent, just the baseline ones. The Land Invader ATVs are starting to show up more and more and more, 1 or 2 of them, just to kind of do some tech stuff. Plink some wounds. Combi Lieutenant. Used to be you needed him with the Lion Dad, but you'll see like there's lists with the Lion that don't have him. There's lists that have none of them, and then there's lists that just have the Combi Lieutenant. But again, there are lists where you have the double wombo combo of this one guy is just going to hang out with the Lion so you can't kill him the whole game. But it's not obligatory like we used to feel like it was. And then, of course, Scouts also like to show up quite a bit. But the Vanguard vets are starting to show up. There's still Vindicators out there. This Devastator Centurions are starting to show up some more. Chaplains and Terminator armor are starting to show up more and in large numbers, as we've looked at earlier. So there's still some pretty interesting trends going on. Ballistas are still out there, right? They're not gone. So there's still a lot of different ways to play Dark Angels that awesome. That are out there. Which is great. Yeah, which is awesome.
Even within the Wrath of the Rock detachment, there are several very, very stable lists, which I'm a fan of. I don't care if our win rate is in the 45 to 50%. I like it. Like, I feel like it's good. I feel it's viable, and people need to respect it.
Yeah. Oh, and it's just fun to have all these different options. Like, if you get bored of playing one thing, it's like you're not having to like take 5% of your winnability out of your army to be like, well, I don't want to play with the Lion right now. Everyone's figured out his tricks. I need to play something else, and it's like, oh well, it's just 300 more points of Deathwing Knights or Inner Circle Companions or Stern Guard, and you're like, oh, these are just as much fun. Or I can run 2 of them for the price of 1 Lion, and your opponent's like, this is somehow even worse than the Lion. I wish the Lion would come back, and you're like, oh, you want him to come back?
Oh, you want?
Let me just accommodate you because he's so much more fun to play with. So, I do enjoy me some trends. So that's what we got going over the last sort of 6 weeks. Hopefully we don't have to go another 6 weeks because that's a lot of numbers crunching.
Man,
it's a lot of lists.
We're at nearly 2 hours with the special guest, so we need to wrap it up. We need
to move. So congrats to everybody. You were awesome keeping it, because remember, Heath, when we would cry to have 3 lists, and now we can't cry now. We have like 23.
We're now spoiled for choice.
So I guess we had the feature segments, the guests. That'll be like a separate episode. In there, I mentioned something that I had kind of as like a backup fill-in, which although Heath said that in there as well, that he went 4-1 recently to GT. So congrats to yourself, Heath, on doing that for the first time. You said, right?
first time I pulled 4-1. So nice. I was featured in Gerard's list. I was featured in Gerard's article. I felt so fancy.
Yeah, and then my thing was during Gen Con, my buddy Chris came down, and I finally beat him for the first time.
Oh yeah,
in quite some time, and it wasn't close. And he was very angry at how my whole army just had lots of cool rules, and I'm like, "But you're Eldar, you have all sorts of cool rules." And he's like, "But I don't have -1 to wound everywhere."
Yeah, bitch. Come on, be calm.
And I was just like, "Come on, dog." And but the big key for me, though, is that he always was like, Space Marine players are so dumb. They just run to the middle of the board, and then I take my Drukhari and I go around them and just kill all of them, and I win the game. And so in this game, I intentionally ran my Deathwing Knights right up to the building, right before the middle objective, and I stopped. And I'm like, I'm going to wait until he gets an objective that makes him go to the middle of the board before me, and then I'm just going to slice him right through the middle of his army with my Terminators. And he got aerial denial before I did, so he had to go to the middle of the board, and I said, all right, you're toast now. And I just plowed right through the middle of his army, and that's how I won the game. And I was like, let's go. So that's the feature segment for me.
Yeah. I will briefly like lead in, I guess, or tease. When I was down under for the last month, I think I played 6 games.
Nice.
And I won all but 1.
Ooh, there you go.
So I was quite happy with how Wrath was performing. It was very stable. The only game I lost was into Tau, and my opponent was really, really good, right? And it was like the last day I was leaving. We talked out the last 2 turns because we were on a time crunch, and like I felt like on turn 3 I was going to win the game, and then some stuff just kind of happened that didn't quite. And yeah, so I oof, man, freaking Tau experimental prototype cadre. Like,
yeah,
what do you mean your gun does 6 mortal wounds?
Nasty.
Is so yeah, and then multiple ghost kills, and then yeah, so and I just couldn't.
No,
I just bounced off a couple things I really didn't need to bounce off of, but it was I was within shooting distance, and the fact that like. She held the center objective on the last turn, because on that mission it's worth 15 points on the last turn, and I couldn't, just barely lost the center objective, even with all possible shenanigans. Yeah. Anyway, but played into Drukhari, got a handy win. Played into Imperial Knights, got a handy win. Played into Emperor's Children, got a handy win. Played into Eldar, which was probably the toughest out of all of them. It was one of their captains of one of their competitive teams, and pulled out some shenanigans and got a handy win.
We love it.
So yeah. Anyway, nice community down there. Really. So hope to get the opportunity to go down there and hang out with some of them again. But more on that later.
All right. Gotcha. So hobby challenge. I know you've been traveling a lot, Heath, so we can kind of postpone this month if you feel like it. Yeah. But I did.
That looks nice.
I still got to finish the basing, but and look, Heath. He's magnetized. Just in case I ever needed to swap out the weapons on him, I gave myself that option. And this is one of the first Space Marine models I've used a lot of contrast on. So like the or the cloth, or the scrolls, the chest, the helmet, all contrast. I haven't, and it's because I finally got a bunch of it and have been playing around with it, and I'm pretty happy with it. For next month, based on what we're talking about MetaWatch, I got 2 ATV Invader ATVs I could build. Probably only get 1 built, or I still have that 5-man squad of Vanguard vets I've been talking about all year. So maybe I should build those. At least get
Vanguard vets. I think based on the conversation we had with our secret guest, right? One of the Watchers from the Dark came up and bestowed some wisdom upon us. Vanguard vets might be a thing I need to. I've got some old Firstborn stuff in there with jump packs I could probably convert up into some.
Yeah, I got some old pewter ones with robes. I got some of those.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
All right. Let's do that.
My little dogs tell me I need to go, so I need to get out of here.
Gotcha. So we got 3 comments. 2 of them are real easy. We got Race Raider, so Alan saying, great video as always. Great result, Heath. So there you go, Heath.
Thanks,
you
Alan.
made it.
Cheers.
And then I think VTS55 is a buddy of mine from college. He says, let's go. Excited to listen in. So hope you like listening to all the stuff we got this month. And then we have ArtCool03. He forgot to comment. He says, but he has the precision enhancement from Company of Hunters detachment may be useful as follows. While attached to a character, say a command squad for extra footprint, the bikes can try to use their bases to get some extra stretch while tagging multiple squads. By ensuring that the champion is then slinkied into a squad with a character we may not like, he can then attack that character without the character's unit activating due to the Ravenwing unit technically causing a different enemy unit to have to activate. With some fine-tuned placement on our end, champion could be piling into an enemy unit to make its attack, since the character unit should be closer to the would be fighting the closest enemy unit to him. This would then allow us to debuff the squad without immediate retaliation, fight without having to deal with defensive abilities that are usable on activation, which the character unit hasn't activated, and then offer a workaround fights first, more notably, again, the character unit. So, like, and all of this, and it continues on a little bit, I hear what you're trying to say. People have done this before, but Games Workshop has very specifically tried very, very hard to not allow people to do this. Like, they have gone into the fight phase and just eviscerated what we used to be able to do, like doing silly melee things. And
I'm spending points to buy a thing that is very situational, and in any case, I can just do for one command point anyway. I don't care. What's the point? Yeah. So
yeah, like, I see what you're saying, but I just know that if you find a way to make it work, what's going to happen is the next balanced data slate, they're going to take it away, because people have tried things like this in the past, and every single time people have tried to do this.
Hi, doggy.
Hi, doggy. He's a good boy. Every time anyone's tried to do something like this, it gets retconned. Just ask anyone that played 8th edition about what happened to tri-pointing, and you will hear you'll hear some horror stories about 8th edition tri-pointing. So that's the kind of game you're trying to play here, and it's good on you if you can figure it out. Problem is, as soon as you figure it out, it'll get taken out of the game.
The level of
I'm going to say about it.
Being able to do like high level, like high IQ movement shenanigans with your pile in and consolidate moves is definitely a very important skill in this game. It's something that GW has tried to. It's where one of the largest skill mismatches between high competency and low competency players exists, and it ends up in some field ads for people that don't play the game as often. So that's one of the things that they've tried to close on, which is why now you have compulsory movement. You must get base to base where possible. You must end an engagement range where possible. You must this. And so while I have my own issues with compulsory things, like, okay, well, if possible, by whose definition, right? And so if you're, and that is, again, once again, it generates if I move in this way, then I can block myself out from being required to do that, and therefore I can't. And so this is not what it means. Well, yeah, but that's what it says. So I hear what you're saying, but gotcha.
Yeah.
I would rather there be something other than a fights first, like in that, like, we could come up with something way better and more thematic than fights first for that two possible things can take. It buffs either the chaplain or the command squad, and that's it. And they could both do that thing for 1 CP. Can we have something that makes the army better, that benefits the army, right? That benefits the thing that they're attached to. Like, anyway.
No, that's fair.
Rant over.
I just want you to appreciate the fact, Heath, this will probably be one of our best episodes because people will be so excited to see your dog. Just because there's a dog in the video. Like, I'm going to put my dog in the tags, too.
17 years old. Still trucking.
Yeah. And because this
That's
video
why I had to let him out, because he has to pee like every hour and a half. We've been going for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So,
but he's going to be like the star of this episode. Nothing we said matters. The dog is all that matters.
The dog
only the Doge.
All right, so we should call it.
We're calling here. So thank you all for listening to this month's episode of The Path to Redemption, the Warhammer 40,000 Dark Angels podcast. We're going to have a second episode to go out with this as a companion. I'm going to get working and cracking on that. So look out for a double upload here in the not too distant future. And then we'll be back in September with the September episode. So please subscribe, like, and comment below if you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us in preferred podcasting service so that you don't miss out on those new postings. And last but not least, we'd like to thank Purple Planet for the use of their music. And until next time, I'm Bailey from Dank Wargaming.
This is Heath with Team Table Hawaii.
Stay loyal, Angels.
Cheers.